Tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you, Sandra. It's fantastic to be here, and thank you to all of you for coming along today and for all the actions this week. A couple of years ago, I went to Japan and I spent a day in the Fukushima exclusion zone around the Fukushima reactor. And nobody's allowed in there anymore because it's so contaminated with pollution after the nuclear reactor disaster. And so we drove around and it was empty. Empty rice fields, empty villages. No one was there. And Japan's very densely populated, so it's very, very strange. After the Fukushima disaster, the German government decided it was time to pull the pin on nuclear power. They said, that's it. We've seen what happened. It's time to pull the pin on nuclear power. Now, you might think that in a democracy, you're allowed to make the decision to walk away from nuclear power. You might think that that is what you're allowed to do in a democratic country when your government and your parliament decides you've got that right. Well, under the investor-state disputes clauses of these trade agreements, if you do something like that and it costs a corporation money, then they can sue you. And the German government is currently being sued for 7 billion New Zealand dollars by a nuclear power company because it decided to phase out nuclear power. That is the reality of what these deals are designed to do. The purpose of these agreements is to restrict democratic space. The purpose of these agreements is to write a new constitution for the way the world works. And it's a constitution where people in democratic countries all around the world have less and less power. When the government of Hamburg put a whole bunch of environmental constraints on a new coal-fired power station, the company that owned that power station took a case against Germany again, or under this investor-state dispute settlement clauses. The government of Hamburg was forced to abandon all of its environmental regulations because they feared they would lose the case and it would cost them billions of euros. That is how the new constitution is being written. Those investor-state disputes clauses have been described by the EU Trade Commissioner as not fit for purpose in the 21st century, and those clauses are in the TPP. They are designed to give the power to multinational companies to sue democratic governments if governments make decisions that cost those companies money. They are designed to restrict you, me, and every other democratic citizen our right to regulate multinational companies. They are designed to turn back 200 years of democratic advances that we have managed to make on this planet. That is the purpose of those clauses. And that's why it's so critical that you're here today. It's so critical that people like us all around the world are rallying around these attempts to restrict democratic space. The agreement between the European Union and the United States has now come to a halt. That negotiation has stopped on exactly this point because the people of Europe are saying no more. The people of Europe are saying, why should it be that an investor, a multinational company, can sue our government? If we make a democratic, popular decision to regulate a company, why should we have to pay billions of dollars to that company because we choose that we don't want to be exposed to nuclear fallout from an exploding nuclear reactor anymore? Surely we have that right. And today we're standing here because we intend to assert that right. Thank you very much.